I wanted to highlight the newly awarded Emmy winner, Noah Wyle, for wearing a custom tuxedo made primarily from medical scrubs from Figs. There's a couple videos that came out from the designer at Figs, kind of taking you through the concept and like how they designed it and what they came up with. Um, and I think it was a great way to kind of try to bring in, healthcare workers into, this culture that usually they're not, a huge part of, which is like, luxury, like Emmy Awards, Hollywood stars. But one of the things that I've really appreciated about Noah Wyle, and actually since he's come out with the show, is just being very vocal about how much he supports healthcare workers and doctors and the nurses and all the people that work in hospitals in order to kind of like elevate the work that they're doing and really respect them and, give them the flowers that they deserve for like the hard work that they're doing. And this was just like another way that he was able to do that. Figs said that Noah approached them and said like, hey, maybe we can come up with a way to do this. And from that, they then created this tuxedo for him that they said is like one of a kind that they'll probably never, do again, that we'll see next year if it gets, nominated again. Did y'all see the the tuxedo?
Yeah, I didn't even know um that it was designed by Figs, the scrubs company.
Mm-hmm.
I think some helpful context for people, because I'm sure anybody listening is not a healthcare worker.
Mm-hmm.
It's, in healthcare settings, doctors, nurses, whoever are usually wearing scrubs. But this brand Figs has emerged in the recent years, in which they sell nice looking scrubs. Like their whole thing is, instead of these like dumpy, baggy,
Mm-hmm.
ill-fitting scrubs, they actually fit nicely. Like they had like slim fit ones. They have just different kinds of like pant lengths or pant styles.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually fits people better in a much more flattering way. So I think it's cool that that they even emerged to solve this problem of, just because you're wearing scrubs to work doesn't mean you have to look dumpy,
Yeah. This
like
reminds
they can
me.
still look cute.
Yeah. No. So this reminds me, if y'all remember Grey's Anatomy, one of the things that the actors would always complain about was that the scrubs that they were getting that were, standard issue, what regular doctors and nurses wear, they hated wearing because they weren't very form fitting. So they had to have their, in-house tailors and costume designers tailor them for them so that they fit them, they look better, right? And so you had like Ellen Pompeo and then, Katherine Heigl, who, was looking better in those scrubs, advocating for the healthcare workers. I then remember that Katherine Heigl either partnered with or like started the company herself to create better looking scrubs for women. So she started that, and then Fix started, and I was like, oh wow, like so this is becoming like a whole like movement where it's like you are wanting to give people the option to like dress better, which is great, right?
Oh, I just wanted to say more about Figs.
Yeah.
I'm Filipino, so no surprise. I have a bunch of friends who work in healthcare, and they wear Figs, and they're like, I love them. Like they look great. They're comfortable. This is all I wear. I do wonder. It makes sense to me that Figs would say that the tux that they made for Noah Wyle was a one-time thing. I would imagine that, like any smart business, they're probably keeping an eye out if people even want to buy formal wear
Hmm.
by them. I think it could.
I mean,
I
if it's
think
gonna
it
be
could
comfortable, right?
yeah, and I think it could be an interesting market because in hospitals, healthcare systems, they have a lot of charity events, galas,
That's
where
true.
they are black tie, like tuxedo events.
Hmm.
So I think it actually could make sense for them to sell Figs tuxedos.
I mean, why wouldn't it, right? Like, the major complaint that I hear from men about having to wear tuxedos is that they're uncomfortable. If they make them comfortable, then why wouldn't they? Become a thing. The only downside I see is that men don't wear tuxes that often. And the use case that I know them primarily for is like you have proms or like weddings and stuff, and usually you rent them for that. So unless Figs is going to be renting them out, I'm not sure how they would be making, their money back.
If they can make Spanx for women, they'll really have some competition with Skims there.
And there you go. Anyway, so lessons to be learned here are that category disruption doesn't have to mean that you're abandoning the category. Like, we're saying here, we don't think that they're actually going to be creating tuxes going forward, at least not later. They might explore it as a different, vertical going forward. But they're just trying something new. For me, it was more the idea that they're using, this cultural moment, the Emmys, an award show, using, a Hollywood star, Noah Wiley, to promote the cause of healthcare workers. So it was a really good branding opportunity for them to not only, create the text and have that fun video that they created on their own TikToks and social channels, but then to get that in front of people who had probably never heard of the company before because they don't know many healthcare workers. So shout out to them for, creating that. And another thing here is, timing matters. So the fact that they were able to kind of jump on this moment to, use the Emmys to, talk about their cause and, get in front of people was a great way for them to use it and like market themselves to more people.